You're more than welcome, please join us. Oh, it's okay, it's no problem. I've only been talking about myself, it's okay. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoy this unique glimpse behind the scenes of Palm and how Palm products are designed. Andy's basically built Palm on a relentless search for a better way to make kayaking products. When it comes to research and development, there's very little expense spared. That's where a lot of the investment goes. And this approach from the very top down throughout the whole company makes for a perfect environment in which ideas can be given the time, the devotion, the care and attention to detail that they need to grow into fully realised products. And it's this very special environment that makes it pretty easy to enjoy work. We all love the industry. Primarily, we all design for ourselves because we're all users of the products. We have so much fun and get so much fun out of the creation of the products that we hope some of this good energy stays with the boats, stays with the life jackets, the dry suits, and eventually rubs off on you, the end users, and helps to make your days on the river more enjoyable, thus continuing the chain. So where do I work? Here's a quick peek into my office at home. It's looking pretty tidy today. Doesn't always look very tidy. But you can see my computer there. Obviously, most of the work is done on the computer now. It's quite a change from doing everything by hand in the old days. But it's a good trade-off. I think the most important thing is to understand how it works. I think you have to have had the experience of cutting patterns and working with fabric to be able to design stuff on the computer. So I have a pretty good depth of knowledge in cutting and grading patterns and working hands-on, so I kind of know what to expect in a way and know what's possible. We do a lot of collaboration at Palm, and that's probably the best way to explain the design process. It's kind of a collaborative iteration. We basically just keep iterating until we get it right, and then the three of us all kind of really gather around and collaborate on that and then feed the pot. So it usually starts with 3 people and a problem. The Palm design team is a core of myself and Andy Knight, who's obviously the owner, and Cheesy as well, gets involved quite a lot. So how does the process start? Well, the initial spark for the start of the design process can take many forms. We sometimes identify a need for a completely new product that's in response to a new direction the sport is taking, or a brainwave moment from one of our team paddlers. Or maybe there's a situation where new technology comes along and allows us to make something completely new. Often there's simply an opportunity to improve an existing product, and Andy's driving idea is it's crucial to take the time to get a product right before it comes to market. And often that includes one more iteration, one more sample, one more month to make it the best product we possibly can. And this is great for you guys, for the end user, but it's not always great for our dealers who are pretty keen to get hold of new products but have to wait until they're finished. But we all feel it's best to get the product right so it performs faultlessly out in the field. Okay, so that gives you an idea of our ethos behind the development process. Palm's belief is everything can always be improved and that a product must be fully functional before it goes to market. So let's get into the design process itself. I want to show you the process as openly and accurately as possible. So to do this, let's use the evolution of a real life product as the example. One of Palm's most iconic products, the Extreme Vest. I've got something pretty cool to show you today. The Extreme Vest went through several prototype phases and sample stages before it went into production, and I've got these prototypes here today. I've also got some of the original drawings for each stage as well, so I can talk you through the whole process and the decisions we made along the way to produce the final product. So let's take a look. While Tim was still at Palm, Tim Maud, he basically proposed this concept. And the 2 most important things about this to note are basically the fact that it's a front opener, and also you've got the flex formed, or the formed foam here basically. So that, Tim developed this idea of getting the foam to mould to your body. But this sample never got made because I took over from Tim at just about the same time. So I kind of took his concept, and this is basically the very first drawing of the Extreme Vest. This is basically how it started out life. And this is the sample here. This is the corresponding sample. So you can kind of see that the drawings are pretty accurate, or rather the sample's pretty accurate to the drawings. So it was always a front opener, and it always had this idea of this overlap, which would allow us to put a larger pocket on the front. So sample number 1 was basically, you can see the date here, These first drawings went off to Shanghai on the 22nd of January 2007. Basically, the final drawings went off in about April 2009. So that's over 2 years. This life jacket was in development. Kind of sounds a bit crazy, but really all the work you do up front is work that you recoup on the back end. You know, this product's basically got a design shelf life for up to 10 years, really. All this hard work is rewarded eventually, not just from being a brilliant product that's safe and, you know, works very well for our users, but, you know, in October or September last year, we got awarded by Jason from the readers from Canoe and Kayak magazine as the most innovative product for 2011. So that's really when all this work pays off. And I think everyone's pretty stoked with the Extreme and the Amp now. Like I said, they've pretty much set the benchmark for rescue whitewater PFDs out there. Palm's committed to the paddlers, to you, the customers, the end users, and it's focused on making the best kayaking equipment possible. But we do definitely, you know, Palm, as I said, Palm's kind of core idea, ethos is basically just keep innovating. And that basically comes from Andy. You know, he owns the company, he likes to design, develop and innovate. And I don't really see that changing anytime soon. Palm is not a corporation. Palm is not owned by a large investment company. Palm does not have to keep shareholders happy. Palm has a singular vision born out in its motto, gear for paddlers. I mean, that's basically it.